A couple was walking. The girl said, "If you love me, will you buy me that cute puppy?" The boy, "Of course, darling. You buy it, and I will love it." Do you think this is a reasonable explanation? If you find it funny, please like and subscribe. Have you ever wondered if animals can truly understand love? Can a furry four-legged friend grasp the complex emotions that we humans cherish so deeply? Today, I want to share a story with you. A story that might just change the way you see the world. And it all begins with a little dog named, well, Love. This isn't just a clever name. Love earned his name, every single letter of it. He was a scruffy little terrier mix, a whirlwind of beige fur and boundless energy, found wandering alone near a busy highway. His past was a mystery, but his future was about to become a legend in our small town. He was taken to the local animal shelter, a place filled with hope and heartbreak in equal measure. The staff there are heroes, but with so many animals in need, it's easy for one small dog to get lost in the crowd. But Love wasn't just any dog. From his first day, there was something different about him. While other dogs would bark for attention or shy away in fear, Love had a calm, knowing presence. He would sit patiently in his kennel, his warm brown eyes following the movements of every person who walked by. It wasn't a look of desperation, but one of deep, quiet understanding. He seemed to be observing, waiting for the right moment. His first act of love happened within those shelter walls. A new kitten, tiny and terrified, had been brought in. Its cries were heartbreaking. While the staff prepared a separate space, Love began to whine softly. Not in an annoying way, but with a gentle, rhythmic sound. He lay down, pressing his body against the shared fence of their enclosures. The kitten, hearing his soft coos, slowly crept closer. For hours, they stayed like that, a scared little dog and a terrified kitten, finding comfort in each other's presence. Love didn't see a different species. He saw a soul in need. That was the day he got his name. Soon, Love was adopted by an elderly woman named Eleanor. Eleanor had recently lost her husband of 50 years, and the silence in her home had become deafening. Her family, worried about her loneliness, thought a companion might help. They chose Love because of his gentle demeanor. The first few days were quiet. Eleanor went about her routine, and Love followed a few steps behind, a silent, furry shadow. He never jumped on her or demanded attention. He would simply lay his head on her lap when she sat down to read, or rest by her feet while she watched television. He was a living, breathing source of comfort. One afternoon, Eleanor was sitting in her favorite armchair, looking at old photo albums. A tear rolled down her cheek as she looked at a picture of her and her late husband on their wedding day. Love, who had been dozing by the fireplace, got up. He walked over, gently nudged the album with his nose, and then licked the tear from her cheek. It was a simple gesture, but for Eleanor, it was everything. It was as if he was saying, "I'm here. You're not alone." From that day on, Eleanor started talking to Love, sharing stories about her life, her joys, and her sorrows. And Love would listen, his head cocked to the side, his tail giving a slow, steady thump against the floor. He wasn't just a pet. He was her confidant, her furry therapist, the keeper of her heart stories. He brought laughter back into a house that had been filled with silence. But Love's capacity for compassion didn't stop at Eleanor's front door. He became a neighborhood icon. He seemed to have a sixth sense for sadness. When the little boy down the street, Timmy, fell off his bike and scraped his knee, Love was the first one by his side, licking his hand until the tears stopped. When a new family moved in and their teenage daughter was feeling lost and friendless, Love would sit by their fence every day until she came out to pet him, striking up her first conversation in the new neighborhood. He didn't offer advice or solutions. He just offered presence. He offered unconditional, non-judgmental affection. His most famous story, the one people still talk about, involves the town's annual fair. It was a hot day, and the fairgrounds were packed. In the chaos, a little girl named Lily got separated from her parents. Panic set in. The parents were frantic, and announcements were being made over the loudspeaker. People started searching, but it was like looking for a needle in a haystack. Eleanor was there with Love, who was, as usual, calmly taking in the sights and sounds. Suddenly, Love started pulling on his leash, whining insistently. He wasn't pulling towards the food stalls or the games. He was pulling towards the quiet, shaded area behind the grandstand. Eleanor, trusting his instincts, let him lead the way. And there, behind a stack of folded chairs, sat little Lily, crying silently. Love walked right up to her, sat down, and offered his paw. Lily, through her tears, took it. Moments later, her parents, guided by Eleanor, found her. That day, Love wasn't just a dog. He was a guardian angel. What is it about a creature like Love? How can they give so much and ask for so little in return? I think the answer is in his name. Love, in its purest form, isn't about grand gestures or eloquent words. It's about showing up. It's about being present for someone in their moment of need. It's a gentle nudge, a comforting presence, a shared silence. It's a lick on a tear-stained cheek. Dogs like Love remind us of a fundamental truth. We are all connected. We all crave connection, comfort, and the feeling that we are not alone in this world. They don't care about our jobs, our bank accounts, or our past mistakes. They see our hearts. They see our pain and our joy, and they meet it with an open, accepting heart of their own. Love lived a long and happy life with Eleanor. He became a local celebrity, a furry reminder of the good in the world. When he eventually passed away peacefully in his sleep, the whole town mourned. But his story didn't end there. His legacy lived on. The local shelter saw a surge in adoptions. People didn't just want a pet, they wanted a love. They wanted to experience that deep, unspoken bond. People started looking at shelter animals differently, not as broken or unwanted, but as potential sources of incredible love, just waiting for a chance to share. Love Story teaches us that empathy isn't exclusive to humans. It's a universal language. It's in the quiet loyalty of a dog, the gentle purr of a cat, the simple act of being there for one another. It reminds us to be a little more like Love, to listen more, to judge less, to offer comfort without needing to have all the answers. Sometimes, the most profound thing we can do for someone is to simply sit with them in their sadness and let them know they are not alone, to offer our own version of a comforting paw. The world can feel like a complicated and sometimes lonely place, but then you hear a story about a dog named Love, and suddenly it all seems a little simpler. It reminds you that the greatest force in the universe might just be a wagging tail and a warm, loving heart. So, the next time you see a dog, maybe a stray on the street or one waiting patiently in a shelter, remember Love. Remember that inside that furry body could be an ocean of affection, a hero in the making, a friend waiting to change someone's world. Maybe, just maybe, you'll be the one to give them that chance. Thank you so much for joining me today and for letting me share this story with you. If it touched your heart, please consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear it. And if you have your own love story, I would be thrilled to read about it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that warm the heart. Until next time, be kind to each other and give your furry friends an extra hug from me. Thanks for watching.